The C-SPAN networks bring you long-form public affairs programming from the nation's capital and are a public service of your television provider. C-SPAN, created by cable.
Would you please rise, as is pursuant to our rules, and take the oath? Do you solemnly swear, or please raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please have a seat. Let all witnesses answered in the affirmative. Now, I'm going to note that I've read your opening statements, and they're unusually short. So I'm not worried about the 5 minutes, but we are here to hear from you. So take the time you need to tell your story. We will listen, and the ordinary time is 5 minutes. You take a little less, you take a little more. This hearing is about hearing from you on your experience. Mr. Thompson.
Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member, members of the committee.
And please pull your microphone a little closer. Thank you.
Thank you for this opportunity to tell a story. As the Chairman indicated, I came to the Department 16 and a half years ago as a Marine, transitioned, and have been on the activities that he has already described. The night that I was involved in this incident, I was at my desk at the end of the day when the first reports came in that indicated that we had an attack going on at our diplomatic facility in Benghazi. In that facility, we knew we had our ambassador and we had his security personnel. Later, when I heard that the situation had evolved to them going to a safe haven, and then the fact that we could not find the ambassador, I alerted my leadership, indicating that we needed to go forward and consider the deployment of the Foreign Emergency Support Team. That particular team is an interagency team. It's been represented as something that the State Department deploys. It does not. The Deputies Committee of the National Security Council deploys that organization. But I wanted that considered. I notified the White House of my idea. They indicated that meetings had already taken place that evening that had taken FEST out of the menu of options. I called the office within the State Department that had been represented there, asking them why it had been taken off the table, and was told that it was not the right time and it was not the team that needed to go right then. Let me explain the team a little more. It is comprised of the leadership from my office. It is comprised of professionals from Special Operations Command, from Diplomatic Security, from the intelligence community, from FBI. It is a holistic, comprehensive organization that is designed to go forward to embassies, just as we did, as indicated in 1998 in East Africa, as we've done in the other places indicated, USS Cole and other hostage situations. It is designed to be the glue and the connective tissue that gets all the options on the table for the decision makers. Decision makers in my line of work are the Chief of Mission and the authorities back here in Washington that make the decisions of where we send people into harm's way. It doesn't mean it has a irreversibility to it. The other thing that I pointed out was that with the tyranny of distance, at least 8 or 9 hours to get to the middle of the Mediterranean, we needed to act now and not wait. There's sometimes the hesitancy to not deploy because we don't know what's going on. One definition of a crisis is you don't know what's going to happen in 2 hours, so you need to help develop that situation early. We have a robust comms suite on the airplane that we are transported on. It is ably flown by my SOCOM colleagues. It is on alert to do just this mission. and it's designed to carry a comprehensive team to a conflict or a crisis and to help the ambassador and work for the ambassador and or the chief of mission to handle that crisis and to make sure he or she has the best information possible to make decisions and to make recommendations back to Washington, and those same representatives make their views known back to their parent organizations, so that when we do have deputies committees and principal committees meetings at the White House, we have a situation in which everyone is using the most up-to-date information, and so that we can figure out what we have to do security-wise, what we have to do intelligence-wise, what we have to do with the military, what we have to do diplomatic-wise, what we have to do on the public affairs front. That works for the chief of mission, and I can't emphasize that enough. We are not there to subsume any activities. The experts on the team know that the real experts are in the embassy, and they work for the chief of mission to do that. My time is drawing to a close. I'll end there and await your questions.
Thank you. Mr. Hicks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. We really will have to, you're pretty soft-spoken, get it a little closer.
I'll try to get this up here. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Ranking Member. Thank you, members of the committee. I am a career public servant. Until the aftermath of Benghazi, I loved every day of my job. In my 21 years of government service prior to Tripoli, I earned a reputation for being an innovative policymaker who got the job done. I was promoted quickly and received numerous awards. People who worked for me rated my leadership and management skills highly. I have 2 master's degrees from the University of Michigan in applied economics and modern Near Eastern and North African studies. I have served my country extensively in the Mideast. Besides Libya, I served in Afghanistan, Bahrain, Yemen, Syria, and the Gambia. I speak fluent Arabic. In Bahrain, my Shia opposition contacts gave me advance warning of impending attacks on our embassy and anti-American demonstrations, allowing us to prepare and avoid injuries to staff. I learned that knowledge of local conditions and strong connections with the local population are as important as the strength and height of walls. One reason I am here is because I have pledged to the Foreign Service as part of my campaign to be State Vice President of the American Foreign Service Association that none of us should ever again experience what we went through in Tripoli and Benghazi on 9/11/2012. After I arrived in Tripoli as Deputy Chief of Mission on July 31st, 2012, I fast became known as the Ambassador's Bulldog because of my decisive management style. In the days immediately after the Benghazi attack, the President and Secretary of State praised my performance over the telephone. President Obama wrote Libyan President Magariaf expressing confidence in my abilities. Deputy Secretary Burns and General Ham told me how much they appreciated how I handled the night of the assault and its aftermath. I received written notes of commendation from Undersecretary Wendy Sherman and from Executive Secretary Stephen Mull. Incoming Chargé Larry Pope told me personally that my performance was near heroic. In February 1991, I swore an oath to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States. I am here today to honor that oath. I look forward to answering your questions fully and truthfully. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I understand that some of those commendations and letters are in your opening statement, and for all the witnesses, all extraneous material or other insertions will be placed in the record on your behalf. Mr. Nordstrom.
Good morning, Chairman Issa, Ranking Member Cummings, and other distinguished members of the committee. For the benefit of the new committee members, my name is Eric Nordstrom, and I currently serve as the Supervisory Special Agent with the U.S. Department of State's Bureau of Diplomatic Security. Since September 2012, I have been enrolled in long-term language training in preparation for my next assignment. As Chairman Issa noted, I've served in federal law enforcement since January 1996, first as a customs inspector before joining the U.S. Department of State. I've served in domestic and overseas postings, including Washington, D.C., Honduras, Ethiopia, India, and most recently, the regional security officer at the U.S. Embassy in Tripoli. All of those assignments have been assignments in which I've faced the threat of criminal or terrorist attacks. I held the last position as RSO from September 21st, 2011 until July 26, 2012. As the Regional Security Officer, or RSO, at the U.S. Embassy in Tripoli, I served as the Principal Security Advisor to U.S. Ambassadors Eugene Kretz and Chris Stevens on security and law enforcement matters. I want to thank the committee again for the opportunity to appear, provide further testimony in support of your inquiry into the tragic events of September 11, 2012. I would also like to thank the committee for your continued efforts in investigating all the details and all the decisions related to the attack on our diplomatic facility. Specifically, the committee's labors to uncover what happened prior, during, and after the attack matter. It matters to me personally, and it matters to my colleagues at the Department of State. It matters to the American public for whom we serve. And most importantly, excuse me, it matters to the friends and family of Ambassador Stevens, Sean Smith, Glenn Doherty, and Tyrone Woods, who were murdered on September 11, 2012. In addition to my testimony before this committee in October 2012, I also met with the FBI, Senate Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs Committee, the Department's Accountability Review Board, and I've discussed my experiences in Libya with all of them. I'm proud of the work that our team accomplished in Libya under extraordinarily difficult circumstances. The protection of our nation's diplomats, our embassies and consulates, and the work produced there is deserving of the time that this committee, other congressional committees, and the Accountability Review Board, and no doubt future review efforts, will invest in making sure that we get this process right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and members of the committee, for the opportunity to appear before you today. I stand ready to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you.